Hello and welcome students to MechPro classes, my official YouTube channel. Myself Piraj Mojumdar, Assistant Professor of Mechanical Engineering Department, GKCM, that is Greater Kolkata College of Engineering and Management under JIS Group. Welcome you to our new session of Advanced Welding Technology, where we will be uploading all the lecture series according to MacOut syllabus day by day. So keep in touch with us for getting daily updates. You can also contact me through 9433465217, that is my personal phone number, or even you can email me at pirasar@gmail.com. You can also connect me through social networking, that is Facebook page, which is known as MechPro Classes. So let us start today's online session. So students, we have arrived at the concluding section of this module 6, where we will be having discussions on aluminum and its alloys, that is the weldability of aluminum and its alloys. In the previous classes we have discussed about the weldability of plain carbon steels, stainless steels, cast irons. So let us begin our today's online class on weldability of aluminum and its alloys. So in the previous classes I have also discussed the term weldability and what are the factors affecting the weldability. So today, coming to the aluminum alloys and aluminum, we have this. In the weldability of aluminum, the most we have to consider the most important characteristics is for particular weld, and then carefully select the correct filler material accordingly. So when welding dissimilar alloys, such careful selection becomes even more important, as the required strength, ductility, corrosion resistance, low temperature, service capability, or color match for anodizing may be the dominant factor in deciding which filler to use. When a filler material is used, the weld deposit alloy is a mixture of the filler metal and the base metal. The properties of this new alloy determine to some extent to properties of the joint, influenced by the degree of dilution of the weld metal by the base metal. Weld cracking is reduced by keeping base alloy dilution of the weld metal to a minimum. Now, strong alloy aluminum welding. What are the advantages? Better quality welds than by any other method. 50% higher tensile shear strength of the welded structure. Significantly less heating of outer surfaces and the heat affected zone. Which have better cosmetic welding, improved corrosion resistance. Now the solidification under pressure has cooled by the electrode. Weld has microstructure with no cracks or porosity. Much larger electrode area than nugget size. Stable electrode surface condition for consistent manufacture. Now weldability of the aluminum alloys. Most of the wrought grades in the 1 and 3, 5, 6 and medium strength as 7 can be fusion welded by TIG, MIG and oxyfuel processes. Categories or grades of 2 and high strength 7 alloys are not weldable. It is prone to liquefaction and solidification cracking. Now coming to the different alloys of this aluminum, let us have some idea of the different applications of these alloys of aluminum. For the pure type of alloy, that is the grade of 1, it has got low strength, excellent thermal electrical conduction and corrosion resistance, highly reflective, fuel filters, electrical conductors, radiator tubing, lighting reflectors, decorative components. For the grade 2, having the alloy as copper, We have high strength, relatively low corrosion resistance, good elevated temperature strength. It has got its use in aircraft skin, aircraft fittings and wheels, ballistic armor, forged and machined components. In the grade of 3 alloy of manganese, its application has got medium strength, good formability and good corrosion resistance, used particularly in storage tanks, beverage cans, home appliances, heat exchangers, pressure vessels, siding and gutters. In the grade of 4, having the alloy as silicon, it has got high castability, high machinability, high fluidity and low ductility. It has got a variety of castings including large castings, filler metal used for castings. For the grade of 5, it has got alloy of magnesium having medium strength, good formability, excellent marine corrosion resistance. Having interior automotive, appliance stream, pressure vessels, armor plate, marine and cryogenic components. Having grade of 6, it has got magnesium and silicon, which is used for medium to high strength, good corrosion resistance, easily extruded. It has got exterior automotive profiles, rail cuts, piping, marine, screw stock, doors and windows. Having the grade of 7, it has got zinc as the alloying materials, very high strength, prone to stress corrosion, poor corrosion resistance, and it has got its application in aircraft construction, truck trailers, rail cars, armor plate, ski poles and tennis rackets. In the grade of 8, it has got its lithium as its alloying elements, which is having very high strength and low density, and its application is in aircraft and aerospace structures, foil, heat exchanger in stock. So the properties of grade 1, that is a pure aluminum alloy, has got its low strength, excellent thermal, electrical conduction and corrosion resistance, and is also highly reflective. Application is fuel filters, electrical conductors, radiator tubing, lighting reflectors, decorative components. In alloy series of grade 2, we have the copper as alloy, which is having high strength, relatively low corrosion resistance, good elevated temperature strength, and its applications are aircraft skin, aircraft fittings and wheels, ballistic armor, forged and machined components. In alloy series of 3, it has got its alloying element as manganese, which is having medium strength, good formability, good corrosion resistance. Applications are in storage tanks, beverage cans, home appliances, heat exchangers, pressure vessels, siding and gutters. In grade 4, we have this silicon as alloy, whose properties are high castability, high machinability, high fluidity and low ductility. Applications are of variety of castings including large castings, filler metal. In grade of 5, we have got this magnesium as alloying element, as its properties are medium strength, good formability, excellent marine corrosion resistance. Applications are interior automotive, appliance stream, pressure vessels, armor plate, marine and cryogenic components. In the grade of 6, we have got this magnesium and silicon as alloying elements, having medium to high strength, good corrosion resistance, easily extruded. Applications are exterior automotive profiles, rail cars, piping, marine screw stock, doors and windows. In the grade of 7, that is alloying elements with zinc, it has got very high strength, prone to stress corrosion, poor corrosion resistance. Its applications are aircraft construction, truck trailers, rail cars, armor plates, ski poles, tennis rackets. In the grade of 8, we have got lithium as its alloy material, It has got very high strength, low density, and its applications are aircraft, aerospace structures, foil, heat exchanger, fine stock. So, this is the classification of the different aluminum alloys and as well as their properties and their applications as well. Talking about the weldability of aluminum. Aluminum and its alloys are popular metals because of their low weight, good corrosion resistance, and weldability. Although they typically possess low strength, certain alloys can have mechanical properties similar to steels. Aluminum alloys can be joined by a wide range of methods, but they also possess several properties that require understanding depending on which method you are using. Therefore, the first step to successful aluminum welding is to familiarize yourself with various aluminum alloys, their properties, and the considerations in choosing filler metal for each. Pure aluminum is a relatively soft metal, but when combined with alloying elements, it can produce a wide range of mechanical properties. These alloys are categorized into families according to the principal alloying elements with a 4-digit identification system. So, talking about the alloys, first is your grade of 1, that is 1000 alloys, almost pure aluminum at 99% with trace elements making up the rest. This family is used to carry electrical current or for corrosion resistance in particular environments. 1000 series aluminum alloys are readily weldable with 1100 filler material. 2000 alloys. This is a family of high strength aerospace alloys. They are extremely sensitive to hot cracking and are the least weldable aluminum alloys. Specifically 2024 is the least weldable, but there are couple exceptions, 2219, 2519, which can be readily welded with 2319 or 4043 filler metal. 3000 alloys, a collection of medium strength aluminum alloys. They are very formable and are often used for heat exchangers and air conditioners. 3000 series aluminum alloys are readily weldable with either 4043 or 5356 filler metal. 4000 alloys. These are typically used as welding or brazing filler alloys rather than base materials. However, when they are used as base materials, 4000 series aluminum alloys are readily welded with 4043 filler metal. 5000 alloys, a family of high strength sheet and plate alloys. So, talking about the 6000 alloys, 6000 series aluminum alloys are tricky to weld because they are prone to cracking. However, with the proper techniques, they can be readily welded with 4043 or 5356 filler materials. Now, 7000 alloys. Another group of high strength aerospace alloys. These alloys are most unweldable due to their susceptibility to hot cracking and stress corrosion. 7075 is particularly vulnerable. The exceptions are 7003, 7005, 7039, which are readily weldable with 5356 filler. Now, there are also some heat treatable versus non-heat treatable aluminum alloys. So, for non-heat treatable alloys, the material strength of alloys depend on the effect of work hardening and solid solution hardening of alloy elements such as magnesium and manganese. These are mainly found in 1000, 3000 and 5000 series aluminum alloys. When welded, these alloys may lose the effects of work hardening and cause softening of the heat affected zone adjacent to the weld. Now, heat treatable aluminum alloys. The material hardness and strength of heat treatable alloys depend on their composition and the heat treatment. The main alloying elements of these materials are defined in 2000, 6000 and 7000 series aluminum alloys. Note that when fusion welding heat treatable alloys, the hardening constituents in the heat affected zone is redistributed and results in reduction in material strength in the local area. The processes are TIG, that is tungsten inert gas welding, MIG, that is metal inert gas welding, and oxy-fuel processes are suitable processes for fusion welding most of the rod grades in 1, 3, 5, 6 series. The 5 series alloys in particular have excellent weldability. These processes are also well suited for medium strength 7 grade series alloys. It is not recommended to fusion welding high strength alloys such as 7010, 7050 and a majority of the 2 grade alloys because they are prone to liquefaction and solidification. The friction stir welding technique is particularly suited for producing sound welds in aluminum alloys. This technique is a good choice for heat treatable alloys which are prone to hot cracking. Now, there are some aluminum welding defects, common aluminum welding defects associated with the weldability of aluminum. So, this weldability of aluminum and its alloy is good if taken appropriate precautions. However, it is important to know the defects that may occur and how to avoid them. The most common defects, welding defects, are aluminum is one of the most susceptible to porosity. So, porosity is caused when hydrogen gas gets trapped in the weld pool as the metal cools. Hydrogen becomes present from either water vapor or hydrocarbon contamination through oils, greases, lubricants and solvents. While the weld metal is in the molten state, it absorbs a high amount of hydrogen. Then as it solidifies, it tries to expel the hydrogen. However, if the weld is solidifying even moderately quickly, the hydrogen doesn't have a chance to escape and instead stays behind and forms small pores within the weld. To minimize the likelihood of porosity from hydrocarbon contamination, thorough cleaning of material surface and filler wear should be performed. So first you have to perform the mechanical cleaning, that is after degreasing, use wire brushing, scraping to remove impurities on the surface of the metal. Now the solvents are organic solvents can be used to remove grease, oil, dirt and loose particles. Dipping, spraying or whipping the metals with solvents before welding can help remove any contaminants and impurities. Chemical etching, you have to use a solution of 5% sodium hydroxide to clean the metals, followed by a rise with NO3 and water to remove reaction products on the surface. Solidification cracking, because aluminum alloys experience high thermal expansion and substantial contraction upon solidification, they are also susceptible to cracking. Typically, these cracks occur along the center line of the weld. It's mainly caused due to an incorrect filler and parent metal combination, incorrect weld geometry, or when welding under high restraint conditions. Furthermore, impurities like sulfur and phosphorus are a major factor since these elements separate during solidification. Therefore, it is important to like sulfur to remove the, so it is very important to remove the oil or grease contamination from the weld area before welding. Also, metals with a low melting point such as copper, tin, lead and zinc should also be avoided. Risk of solidification cracking can be further reduced by using a non-matching crack resistant filler such as those from the 4th grade and 5th grade series alloys. So students, today we have discussed about the weldability of aluminum and its alloys as well. So we have completed the module 6. From the next class we will be discussing the concluding section or the concluding module of this particular subject, that is advanced welding technology. Thank you for watching.